For many folks, football is just a game, nothing more, nothing less. But for one Rapid City man, it has been more, far more. In a way, football has been the playbook of his life. No longer tackling on the field, he's now tackling the issues of wayward kids along the way in Rapid City. These are not doors we expect children to walk through. Kids as young as 10 years old.
It's a jail. It's a juvenile jail, and it's a secure place. So why do you want to empower them with everything?
Very secure.
You have kids for murder, for rape, for serious assaults. We have a lot of young kids who have stolen cars.
This is one of only 3 places in America that accept federal juveniles in addition to local kids. Joe Guttierez is the commander, and it's as if he's on a mission to share a message he first learned as a child.
We just deal with a small handful that continue to make poor choices over and over and over.
The Western South Dakota Juvenile Services Center holds both boys and girls, waiting to go to court, to be placed elsewhere, for example, treatment, maybe a group home, or here, long-term, serving out a sentence.
I do what I do because I care.
If you talk to Guttierez for more than a moment, you'll hear about choices, something he knows quite a bit about.
I grew up in an all black Spanish area where we were bused probably 40 miles from where I lived.
Joe says his father focused on the importance of choices and the results of those choices.
But just growing up and seeing some of my friends who made poor choices and some other ones that got involved in sports, and I chose to go the sports route.
The power of that decision has had ripple effects on his life ever since. Guttierez flourished, being named a team captain in both football and basketball his senior year of high school. And Joe was the first one in his family to ever go to college.
I think the incentive to go to college was that I can continue to play football. Went to Black Hills State on a football scholarship and played linebacker, started linebacker for 3 years. Team captain, all conference.
And it's something that happened while he was a football player at Black Hills State that ultimately led him to where he is now. He was working as a lunch monitor for $5 and a free lunch at a local elementary school. He noticed one kid bullying other kids and told the boy to stop. Called Joe some names and ran off.
The principal met me at the door and he said, Mr. Guttierez, I just want to let you know that that kid we talked about yesterday, he brought a gun today to shoot you.
Someone reported it, and law enforcement stopped it before Joe even arrived. And it's that incident that got him thinking about working toward helping kids.
I just completed my 30th year of coaching. I did 15 years at Black Hills State as a defensive line and linebacker coach, and the last 15 years I've been coaching at St. Thomas More.
But he was also working a series of jobs involving juveniles and criminal justice, and in 2011, hired here.
We offer drug and alcohol counseling inside. We offer sex offender services. We offer some different mental health type programs for kids.
This is what a housing unit looks like here. There's 3 housing units in the facility. Each housing unit has 12 beds.
When I talk to them, it's usually, what can you control, who can you control, and what are you responsible for?
Guttierez is teaching what he learned from his dad, what he learned growing up, what he learned in college.
If you want positive outcomes, make positive choices. And if you want the negative outcomes, you're going to make negative choices. You have to be the one that decides what future you're going to go.
He says in the past year they've had several kids graduate from high school in here or receive a GED. As the commander, he's like the coach of a strong team of employees.
I tell staff all the time is that you never know whose voice, whose words, or whose thoughts are going to help them, empower them to make better choices.
They're staffed to hold up to 41 kids, and they care about each one.
Well, the hard part of this job is you never know the outcome because kids leave here, and you never know if they're successful or if they're not.
After a lifetime of playing and coaching sports, Guttierez knows you can't win them all, but that will not stop him from trying. He has 2 sons of his own and says his biggest accomplishment in life is raising them from boys to men. And just a fun fact, Joe was the first ever psychology major to graduate from Black Hills State. If you've met someone cool along the way, please call or email us to let us know.
Steve, that was amazing. That was a
Thank you.
Really great package. Good job. Well, we always hear about how important these choices are, and I think that his life is a prime example of that. He said a lot about that in the package. And so, do you know when he decided to start working with troubled kids?
Ironically, he says it's when that child brought a gun to school with the intent of shooting him on lunch duty. Instead of getting mad, that was really the moment. He changed his major to psychology and sociology, and now here he is. He can't change the kid's past. He knows that. But he and his team teach them how to make better choices for a better future.
And I think that's exactly what they need. You know, every kid needs that, so that's great.
Well said.